Hey guys, welcome to what I would like to think is the pilot episode of Thoughts with Ivan Meneses. I've always wanted to do some sort of a podcast, and I've just been internally debating myself as to whether I should do one or not. And out of nowhere today, I thought, okay, let me let me give it a try. I mean, I've been doing social media for quite a while now, so maybe almost 2 years, give or take. And you guys are just so used to seeing me in like short form content, I feel like. So maybe 30-second, 45-second videos. And if you're following me here on YouTube, then you would have seen that I've started dabbling with like longer form content. So maybe 4 minute, 5 minute, 8 minute, 10 and a half minutes videos. That's the longest one that I've done so far. Ugh. Okay. And I don't know if you guys can muster the strength to actually listen to me like in real long format. Because usually podcasts would be like over 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I have no idea how long this one's going to be. But I've also prepared myself and kind of like preconditioned myself that not everyone will be able to hang on and like listen for that long. I know everyone's busy, but I know like the real ones, like the real followers, the real subscribers will be able to just like, hang around and hang with me, till the end. So let's see. And I think, longer format videos like this, it's truly, for the real ones. So again, thank you for joining me today. The topic for today is why you need a crush. And I have a very controversial take as to why you need one. And I'm cognizant to the fact that not everyone's going to agree with me, but if you listen to it and try to understand where what I'm really trying to get at, it might make sense to you. So another reason why I thought of doing longer form content or like a podcast kind of like this one is I've been talking about tactics. I've been talking about like how-to videos. I make a lot of like signs that your crush likes you or stuff like that. Apparently you guys really like that. And I give you a lot of tips. I give you a lot of techniques, but I haven't really shared myself to you guys. So I don't think you guys really know me yet. And perhaps this format will give me a chance to really open up and share myself more with you guys. So I'm gonna be a little bit more open. I'm gonna tell you more about my story so you understand, like how I was raised and why I think this way. So again, like going back to our topic, why you need a crush. First off, let's ask Google us for like a dictionary meaning or of what a crush is. Oh, actually, okay, Google, what is a crush?
According to Wikipedia, puppy love, also known as a crush, is an informal term for feelings of romantic love, often felt during childhood and early adolescence. It is an infatuation usually developed by someone's looks and attractiveness at first sight. It is named for its resemblance to the adoring, worshipful affection that may be felt by a puppy.
Infatuation mainly brought about by someone's looks, often referred to like as puppy love. So that's the Google. That's like the dictionary definition of what a crush is. But I have a different definition of what a crush is. And I saw this video, I think it was like a TikTok or something. And the girl was saying that a crush is basically a lack of information. Right? A crush is basically a lack of information. You can think of it this way. I like watching movies. But the unfortunate truth is I don't have a lot of time to watch movies. Movies nowadays are like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Like the really good ones, maybe 3 hours. And I just, unfortunately, I don't have much time to spend just like sitting and just like enjoying a movie for 3 hours. So if I want to watch a movie, what I do is I try to vet it first. And by extension, by vetting a movie, I watch a lot of trailers. I watch a lot of movie trailers, all right? And if you watch a movie trailer, typically they're going to show you the protagonist. They will usually be attractive. They will show you like the highlights of the movies, the main scenes, the most death-defying, the most action-packed, the most emotionally charged scenes, right? And the story and the purpose of a trailer is to show you guys that and sell you on the idea that maybe it's worth your time, that it's maybe worth it for you to watch it, right? So it does that while not exposing like the most important parts of the movie. So when I think of a crush, it's practically the same. So you see a person and you see how they look like, you see how they carry themselves, you see the type of outfits and clothes that they wear, and everything else in between, like how they're like to be in a relationship with, or like what their red flags, their green flags, their nuances, all of that stuff, your mind fills it in. Your brain fills in the gaps. And most of the time, when it fills in the blanks, it fills it in with like fantasies of how it's potentially like to be with this person. And for most of the time, those fantasies, those, like the information that you've filled in yourself, they're not necessarily the truth. I also want to dabble on the idea that typically when you have a crush, it's someone that you can't have, or at least someone that's difficult to get. As human beings, we put so much priority into the things and into the stuff that we don't have as of the moment. Like, how many times have you been in like a not a relationship? So again, so to me personally, like I had a stage in my life where I really liked cars. Right? It's like my main motivation to work. I want this car, so I'm gonna work to get this car. And when I don't have that car yet, I'm just obsessed with it. I watch a lot of videos. I go to dealerships and just like look at the car to like motivate me to buy it. But finally, when I actually get the chance to buy that car, that good feeling, the excitement, typically it's there for like 2 or 3 weeks only. But like after 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, I'm no longer interested in that car. I'm already bored, right? But during the times when I don't have it, I'm fantasizing about it. I'm thinking of how much girls, I'm thinking of how much clout I'll be able to get, by purely driving that car. My mind fills in just a lot of like fantasies and fallacies, and I start daydreaming and imagining, and most of the time it's just not true. Whatever it is that I thought this car would give me in like my fantasies and dreams, once I finally get it, once I finally have it, it's not really the case. So our brains, it puts so much value on the stuff that you don't have right now. And I promise you, once you finally get something, you just realize that it's no big deal, right? It's not what you thought it would be, and it's not gonna fix what you thought was missing in your life. And it's the same thing with like having a crush. I don't know, like maybe for some of you guys, you've had a crush on someone, and then maybe someone who's like hopefully like courting you already, or someone that you can potentially be in a romantic relationship with. And during the courting phase and the dating phase, you're just so in love with each other. But eventually, like as you get to know this person, as you get to like really have this person, the infatuation level, it goes down, right? Because now you're seeing their nuances, you're seeing their real self. And the person that you have built up in your head, you start realizing that it's not the same person. So when I was a kid, I would say like around grade three, maybe grade five. So I grew up in a household where, or like even a culture, I grew up in a culture wherein if you see a baby, if you see a kid, for you to identify a baby as cute, they would have to look fair, like white. They have to have like really big soft, like bubbly cheeks. All right. So I grew up in a culture wherein cute babies are typically fat babies. Not sweaty armpits, sweaty hands, soft skin, bubbly cheeks, and I don't know, like folded skin. Right. So I grew up in the Philippines, by the way, and and in that culture, at least, for you to be identified as a cute baby, that's how you'd look like. You'd look like, I don't know, like fat, for lack of a better term. So growing up, and then I had a nanny, and I swear to God, a part of this nanny's job description is to just make sure that I get fat, because all she did was just like feed me and like force feed me almost, right? That's how they showed love to me. Like even my parents, actually, nothing against them, right? I love them, but growing up, one of the ways where they showed me that they cared is by always making sure that I'm full. All right. So randomly, I remember them just like going in my room and just asking me, "Hey, are you hungry?" Or now that I'm finally eating, they would say like, "Hey, eat more." So I finally finished my plate. It's clean. Hey, go grab another plate. Go eat more. That's how they showed love. And that's okay. But the problem is, like, it gave me like really bad eating habits. And by extension, just by always eating, by always feeling full, it messed me up mentally and gave me like really bad eating habits. So by extension, I became fat. I became that cute, fat, nerdy kid as well. And when you're fat as a baby, that's only good for like a few years, I feel like. So maybe up until, I don't know, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, maybe you're cute. But I hit not puberty, but when I finally got to grade school and I was like grade 3 or grade 4, being the fat nerdy kid, I got bullied a lot because I can't move. I'm always sweaty. I have like those black, I don't know what you call them, just like around my neck, just because I'm so fat. I like really bad folded skin. Um, and I had like BO. I feel like I'm pretty sure someone told me I had BO. So yeah, I got bullied a lot, and right around that time, I also started having a crush on this person. Let's just call her Mary. All right. So Mary, she's not extremely popular. She's just, man, if I'm being honest, she's like average. But she gave me a little bit of attention. And just that little bit of attention, that's all it took for me to start, having a liking towards her. But the thing is, she doesn't like me. She's just nice. And I deliberately placed myself in the friend zone. So I befriended her, so I can have a lot of time with her, and that's okay with me back then. I mean, I'm living the life. I'm spending so much time with this girl, and I have a crush on this girl. So that's completely okay with me. But then, a few months passed, and somewhere around the same grade, let's just say grade 3, somewhere mid grade 3, this guy started courting her, and they became boyfriends and girlfriends. Let's just call this guy like Aaron, right? So Aaron and Mary, they became boyfriends and girlfriends, and I was just devastated. I was heartbroken. I was proper crying at night, listening to Boys to Men, I think, End of the Road. So yeah, like it was my first real heartbreak. And during those days, I used that heartbreak to better myself. So during the heartbreak, because now I'm spending less time with Mary and she's spending more time with Aaron, and the only times that we'll actually hang out together, she's talking about Aaron, and I just absolutely hated it. But but I stuck it out. I was still there through the goods of the relationships, the worst parts of their relationships when they're fighting and stuff. I'll be the friend that she's gonna go to, shoulder to lean on. But eventually I just got tired of that, and I thought, okay, I need to be better. Like now I'm thinking, what can I do? What type of person should I be so I can be worthy of Mary? Right? And through that thought process, I began transforming myself. I went through a metamorphosis. Right? So again, I was a fat, nerdy kid. Everyone was just trying to bully me. All my friends were girls back then. I don't have like a lot of guy friends because all the guys would just be doing sports, and I don't like doing sports because I was bad at it. I can't move. But, through the heartbreak, through the heartbreak, it just gives you so much energy as well. It's just, the question is, how do you divert that energy? How do you use it? And for me personally, I used it to be better. So the first thing that I did was like, I started eating better. I started doing I was just more aware of like the amount of food that I ate. I also dressed better, and I lifted weights. So like here I am, I would say like fourth month or fifth month, and out of nowhere, I'm starting to get a little bit of attention from the girls as well. I was starting to dress better. I was starting to eat better. And with me feeling better with myself, I started playing sports as well. So now I'm no longer the fat kid, and I'm getting attention from the girls. And with that little extra attention from the girls, I became less awkward as well. And man, like thinking about that right now, I mean, those 5 months, 6 months were it's one of the worst times in my life, like during grade school, and I hated every single moment of it before. But now, like looking back, I needed it. I needed that heartbreak. That heartbreak gave me the energy to be better. It gave me the energy to be different. Because think about it. How many times have you told yourself that you're going to be better? How many times, how many New Year resolutions have you failed yourself? Right? How many times have you decided that I'm going to eat better, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to start walking, I'm going to start running, and eventually you failed. And for me personally, just like having that heartbreak, having that crush, like when you have a crush, you just have this immense level of energy. It's either you're always happy or it's either you're always like frustrated, right? But either way, you got so much energy. And if you can use that energy, you can hack your brain. You can manipulate your brain to use that energy to be better. And that's what I'm trying to get at, right? Now, here's the thing. Mary and Aaron, they actually broke up. And I'm grade 5 or grade 6 at this point, and I was still transforming. I'm not done yet. But at the penultimate stages of my metamorphosis, we were grade 6 and we were separating schools. And finally we had that talk. And she finally told me that somewhere around grade 5 or like the final stages of grade 6, she started to have a liking towards me. It was the most amazing feeling, but the most surprising thing is by the time that she started liking me, I no longer like her anymore. I went through such a strong transformation that my liking towards her, it changed as well. I have this friend who tells me to to do like not a 360 degree transformation, because if you do a 360 degree transformation, you're back to the same self. So you do a 180 degree transformation. I felt like I definitely did like a 180 degree transformation, because I was completely renewed. I was not the same person anymore. And all that change, all that metamorphosis, the transformation, it was sparked by the idea of having a liking towards someone and them not liking me back. Quite literally the best thing that has ever happened to me, grade school. So now I'm in high school, right? And same thing. I had a crush on this girl, right? I mean, when you're young, you just like everyone, I feel like. But here's the thing. Now that I'm a completely changed human being, my standards are different. Like I said, Mary, I mean, she's cool and all, but if I'm being honest with myself, if I were to rate her, she's probably like a 4. She's maybe a 5 at best. All it took was her giving me just a little bit of attention, and out of nowhere, I've fallen in love with her. I started having a liking towards her. That's all it took, just a simple attention, because no one gave me the attention, right? But now I'm in high school. I've been getting a lot of attention previously from grade school. I've been getting a lot of attention still in high school, and my standards are completely different. So there's this girl, let's just call her Uni, right? There's this other girl, but this girl is a proper 10. All right, so this girl is smart, she's articulate, she's like student body president. Give me a sec. Okay, so this girl is proper 10. She's the most popular girl at school. Everyone likes her. All the guys wants to be with her, and I want to be with her as well. And I'm extremely competitive. So the same thing again. Like in my head, I'm thinking like, what person do I have to become so I can be worthy of this girl? So now I'm thinking of like another transformation. You see, when I look at crushes, when I look at these people, I don't look at them as crushes. I look at them as my soulmates. You know, like Mary in grade school, she's my soulmate, and she's that person who taught me to fix my brain, like my bad eating habits. You know what I'm saying? She taught me how to love myself more. She taught me how to restrain myself and how to have like self-control. That's her. That's her purpose in my life. Now there's this new girl, Nice, and I also see her as a soulmate. But she has a different purpose, I felt like, because now I'm already kind of decent looking. I already dressed well. I'm already sort of kind of fit. So I also play sports. But you know, this girl, being student body, she knows how to talk. She's so articulate. Like when she talks, people listen. And it's not just because, you know, she's pretty and all, but she's proper. She's pretty good. She's super smart. And automatically in my head, I'm thinking, okay, what type of person should I be so I can get her attention? And the transformations that I went through at that time would be me practicing how to talk, me practicing how to articulate better, me joining. Oh my God, like they would do like contests. I remember like Mr. Nutrition, Mr. I don't know, just like stuff like that, and I would join them because it's like a pageant style type of competition, and my parents would go and other people would watch, and they would make us go on a stage and talk. It's a proper pageant, and I've joined a lot of those, and some of them I won. Most of them I won, surprisingly, but it forced me to be more articulate. It forced me to be more confident. It forced me to be able to talk in front of a crowd, right? And I would never have done that if it weren't for Nice. The biggest transformations that I've had in my life, they happened when I had a crush. Like really, actually. And when you start liking someone, when you have a crush, aim for like a 10. Aim high, right? Because the 10s, they will force you to have like the biggest transformations. There's also this dichotomy between like having a crush and using that to motivate yourself, and having a crush and sabotaging yourself. You have to be very self-aware and cognizant of the fact that you can have a crush and it's quite literally possible that you will never end up being together, and that's okay. We are hacking our brains to be better. The aim is not to like be in a relationship with them. That's not it. That's not what I'm trying to say here. That could be like a different, completely different topic and video. What I'm trying to get at here is you can hack your brain, be delusional into thinking that you can get this person if you become, a different person at their level. So for example, you have a crush on someone, maybe at school, maybe at work, maybe on social media or whatever. Typically when you have a crush at someone, it's someone that's like pretty or handsome. So what do you have to be? You have to be someone who takes care of their skin. You have to be someone with like a properly regimented day of like self-care. You have to be someone who is good at talking. You have to be someone who's maybe funny. You have to be someone who's confident. You have to be someone with a lot of potential. And I know what you guys are thinking. So what if I'm married? What if I'm in a relationship? What if, I don't know, like I'm single or whatever it is. That's not the point, guys. When you have a crush, the point is not to get that crush. The point is to become better so your crush can notice you. And as to whether you get into a relationship with them, that's pretty much determined by your current relationship status, right? But even for the people who are married, for example, even for the people who are in current relationships, as long as you know your boundaries, as long as you know or you're bound by your morals, you can still do this technique. Because ultimately, once you get there, you know that, if I wanted to, I could have. Also, I want you to anticipate failure, right? You have to be okay with the idea that you might fail. But thinking of a crush this way, it gives you that really strong spark to at least start with something. Sometimes if it's New Year's, you tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna try to go to the gym. Usually the motivation fades rather quickly. But when you have a crush, when you have like a purpose, you've hacked your brain into like having a purpose, it's just so much stronger, right? Like the motivation to change, the motivation to transform, the motivation to be better. It's just so much stronger when you have a crush. Nowadays, unfortunately, I don't have a liking to anyone. I hope I have a crush on someone, but my values have changed so much. My standards are so high now that I don't ever get a crush on someone. So if you do have a crush on someone right now, it's a literal blessing, because I wish it on myself, and I can't have one because my standards are so freaking high. It may sound like I'm complaining, but it's actually the most amazing feeling for me, because I'm just completely satisfied. I feel completely okay. And the idea or the concept of like not wanting anyone now, the concept of like just being your highest self, it's so liberating. Because I would say that I have such high standards, but the truth is I think I'm just happy just like being with myself now. I went through so much healing. I went through so much transformation. And when I metamorphosized, I turned into someone who just really, truly loved myself. And it's the most amazing feeling. Because remember when we had Google explain what a crush is, they were saying that a crush is just like infatuation, often referred to as a puppy that's usually brought about by someone's looks. Nowadays, I don't get impressed with looks anymore. Before, I would see a girl, I would see their body, I would see the car that they were driving, I would see like their face, and I would just be easily impressed. Nowadays, I look at a person's personality, I look at a person's sagacity and overall composite, right? And the physical aspects of a person, I rarely look at that anymore. And honestly, it's the most amazing feeling. I hope you can transform yourself into that version of yourself who thinks that you're completely enough, that you don't need anyone, and you're just happy with with just you being yourself, because that's what I've achieved through having crushes and through working through these crushes. So again, it's a very controversial take. No, it's not going to be for everyone, and I don't think everyone's going to agree on it, but there's some merit into the concept if you actually try. Anyway, if you reached this far, just want to quickly promote it that I'm still doing my one-on-one consultations. We can quite literally talk about anything. If you go in my descriptions, the link is right there. We can go ahead and schedule you right away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next ones.